Austin McBroom just hit rock bottom, and it's all because of one wedding invitation. The former Ace Family star has completely spiraled after his ex-wife Catherine McBroom announced her engagement to Igor Ten, and what happened next will shock you. From getting uninvited to his own ex-wife's wedding to allegedly losing his current girlfriend Alexa, Austin's world is crumbling faster than the Ace Family empire itself. We're talking about the Catherine McBroom wedding that's breaking the internet, Austin McBroom's most embarrassing moment yet, and why fans think this whole Ace Family divorce drama just took the ugliest turn possible. Catherine Paiz is living her best life, while Austin McBroom can't stop talking about her, and the tea we're about to spill will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about this messy situation. Before we dive into this absolute disaster, smash that subscribe button because apparently Austin forgot how to move on, but at least you can move your finger to hit subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss any of this chaos, and neither does Austin, apparently.
Let's start from the beginning of this disaster. Catherine Paiz, the woman who built the Ace Family alongside Austin, just announced she's getting married this month to Igor Ten. But here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't just any regular engagement announcement. Catherine dropped a whole romantic timeline on Snapchat that had everyone talking. She revealed they met in 2023 at a waterfall in Brazil, and get this, Igor had taken a photo at the exact same spot 2 years earlier. Talk about fate, right? The couple did long distance for 8 months, and Catherine made it clear that for their relationship to work, her kids had to love Igor too. And apparently they do. Catherine's been gushing about how she can't imagine doing life without him, and honestly, good for her. After everything she went through with Austin, she deserves happiness. But while Catherine was building this beautiful new life, Austin was apparently still stuck in the past, and his reaction to this news would prove just how stuck he really was.
When Catherine announced her engagement, Austin decided to hop on livestream and react to it in real time. Now, most mature ex-husbands might send a private congratulations text or just stay quiet altogether. But Austin? Nah, he made it content. He claimed he already knew about the engagement before Catherine announced it publicly, which honestly sounds like he was trying to make himself seem more important than he actually is in Catherine's life. Austin started by saying he was happy for Catherine, but anyone watching could tell there was something off about his energy. The subtle shade started immediately. He was dissecting Catherine's Snapchat stories, commenting on the timeline she shared, and making little remarks that had viewers uncomfortable. People in the chat were already calling him out, asking why he was even reacting to his ex-wife's engagement when he supposedly had a current girlfriend. The whole thing felt inappropriate from the start. This is your ex-wife, the mother of your children, and she's found happiness. The mature response would be to wish her well privately and move on with your own life. But Austin turned it into a spectacle, and that decision would come back to bite him harder than he ever expected.
Here's where Austin really messed up. After initially claiming he was happy for Catherine and Igor, Austin made one comment that changed everything. He suggested that Catherine and Igor needed to get married sooner rather than later because Igor obviously isn't from here and needed to stay in the country. Essentially, Austin implied that this was a marriage of convenience for citizenship purposes. The audacity of this man. Here's Catherine sharing this beautiful love story about fate and timing and falling in love with someone's soul, and Austin reduces it to paperwork and immigration status? The comment was so inappropriate and disrespectful that Catherine immediately uninvited him from the wedding. And honestly, she was completely right to do so. Austin tried to backtrack later, claiming he didn't have bad intentions and that if people watched his full stream, they'd see he was showing love. But the damage was done. You can't suggest someone's marriage is fake for citizenship and then claim you were being supportive. The internet wasn't buying it, and neither was Catherine. Austin went from having a front row seat to his ex-wife's new beginning to being completely cut out. And it was entirely his own fault.
After getting uninvited from the wedding, Austin pretty much disappeared from social media for a while. When he finally came back online, he looked like a completely different person. Austin admitted he'd been having the worst week of his life, and his confession was honestly painful to watch. He said he'd been crying in the gym steam room and
dealing with a mix of emotions, sad, mad, angry, you name it. Austin looked genuinely broken during the stream. He kept saying he had big business deals he was trying to close, but it was obvious that wasn't what was really bothering him. This was a man who had just watched his ex-wife announce her engagement to someone else, got himself uninvited from the wedding through his own actions, and was apparently facing relationship problems with his current girlfriend too. The timing of this breakdown wasn't coincidental. Catherine had just shared how happy she was with Igor, how her kids loved him, and how they were planning this beautiful wedding. Meanwhile, Austin was alone in a steam room crying about his rough week. The contrast was stark, and it painted a picture of a man who still hadn't processed his divorce or moved on from his previous life.
Speaking of breakdowns, don't let your YouTube recommendations break down. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss drama like this. Unlike Austin, at least you'll be making good decisions today. While Austin was having his public breakdown, fans started speculating about his relationship with his girlfriend, Alexa. People noticed she hadn't been appearing in his content as much, and Austin's behavior suggested he was dealing with more than just wedding drama. The theory was that Alexa had finally had enough of Austin's obsession with his ex-wife and decided to end things. Think about it from Alexa's perspective. Your boyfriend can't stop talking about his ex-wife, makes reacting to her life announcements into content, and when she gets engaged, he has a complete meltdown. That's not exactly girlfriend material right there. Austin had been called out before for things that made it seem like he wasn't over Catherine. He'd slip up and call Alexa the same pet name he used for Catherine, then catch himself and promise he'd stop. These weren't just innocent mistakes. They were signs of a man who was still emotionally attached to his previous relationship. And apparently, fans were right about the Alexa situation. Austin later confirmed that he and Alexa had indeed broken up, though he tried to frame it as them going down different paths, rather than admitting his own behavior might have been the problem.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Austin's pattern of using Catherine's name and life for content. This isn't healthy co-parenting behavior. This is a man who built his entire brand around his family, and when that family fell apart, he couldn't figure out how to move forward without constantly referencing what he lost. Austin admitted on stream that he'd been calling Alexa the same nickname he used for Catherine, baby, and had to consciously stop himself. He literally said he was throwing that word in the garbage because it was associated with his ex. But here's the thing. If you're truly moved on and in a healthy new relationship, you don't accidentally call your current girlfriend by your ex-wife's special name. That's not a slip of the tongue, that's your subconscious telling you where your mind really is. The fact that Austin was making Catherine's engagement announcement into multiple streams worth of content shows how dependent he'd become on her life for his own relevance. Catherine was out here living her best life, planning her wedding, building a new relationship, and moving forward. Austin was stuck refreshing her social media and turning her happiness into his content strategy.
Here's what makes this situation even more problematic. Austin and Catherine share children together. They're going to be in each other's lives forever because of their kids. But there's a difference between mature co-parenting and what Austin was doing. Mature co-parenting means supporting your ex's happiness for the sake of your children's stability. It means keeping your personal feelings private and focusing on what's best for the kids. What Austin was doing was the opposite. He was airing his feelings about Catherine's relationship publicly, making inappropriate comments about her engagement, and creating drama that their children would inevitably hear about. Catherine had been trying to keep things peaceful and even extended a wedding invitation as a gesture of goodwill. Austin took that gesture and turned it into a public spectacle that ended with him getting uninvited. Catherine has been nothing but gracious throughout this entire process. She announced her engagement with joy and gratitude, shared her love story without throwing shade at her past, and only took action against Austin when his behavior became disrespectful. She's showing their children what it looks like to move forward with dignity and find happiness after a difficult period. Austin, on the other hand, is showing them what it looks like when someone can't let go of the past.
This whole situation is bigger than just wedding drama or relationship gossip. It's about patterns of behavior that affect real people, especially children who didn't ask to have their family drama played out online. Austin's inability to move on isn't just embarrassing for him. It's potentially harmful to his kids, who have to watch their father publicly struggle with their mother's happiness. Catherine has every right to find love again and get married without her ex-husband turning it into a content opportunity. She's been through enough with the cheating scandals, the public divorce, and all the drama that came with the end of the Ace family. Now she's found someone who, apparently, loves her children, makes her happy, and wants to build a future with her. That should be celebrated, not dissected and criticized by someone who had his chance and messed it up. The fact that Austin lost his current girlfriend over his behavior toward his ex shows that this isn't just affecting his past, it's destroying his future too. Alexis saw the red flags and decided she didn't want to be with someone who was still emotionally unavailable because of his previous relationship. That's actually a healthy choice on her part, even if it left Austin dealing with yet another relationship ending.
As Catherine prepares for her wedding this month, she's probably relieved that Austin won't be there to create drama or make inappropriate comments. She can focus on celebrating this new chapter with people who genuinely support her happiness. Meanwhile, Austin is left to figure out how to move forward without using his ex-wife's life as content material. The reality is that Austin needs to do some serious self-reflection. He's lost his family, his current girlfriend, and his invitation to his children's stepfather's wedding, all because he can't seem to accept that Catherine has moved on. The longer he holds on to the past, the more he's going to damage his ability to build a healthy future for himself and maintain a good relationship with his children. Catherine's engagement should have been a moment for Austin to prove he'd grown and matured since their divorce. Instead, it became evidence that he's still the same person who couldn't prioritize his family when he had them. The citizenship comment, the public reactions, the emotional breakdowns, all of it shows a man who isn't ready to accept reality and move forward with grace.
If you want to keep up with all the latest drama and see how this wedding situation unfolds, make sure you're subscribed, because something tells me this story isn't over yet, unlike Austin's ability to move on, which seems to be permanently broken. What do you think about this whole situation? Was Austin wrong for making those comments about Catherine's engagement, or do you think there's more to the story? Let me know in the comments below, because I love hearing your thoughts on these messy celebrity situations. And honestly, after watching Austin's behavior throughout all of this, I'm just happy Catherine found someone who seems to genuinely care about her and her children. The moral of the story here is simple. When your ex moves on and finds happiness, the mature response is to wish them well and focus on your own growth. Austin chose the opposite path, and now he's dealing with the consequences. Sometimes the best thing you can do for everyone involved, especially your children, is to simply let go and move forward with dignity. Austin clearly hasn't learned that lesson yet, but maybe losing everything will finally teach him what really matters. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll probably be talking about whatever messy situation Austin gets himself into next, because at this point, it seems inevitable.